Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and my February plan with me video. Before I get into how I created February's layouts, let's take you back to January and my pages for the month. I had a great month last month and there's lots of things that I'll take forward into February. There's going to be a couple of tweaks. I also started the My Doodle 9 challenge, which is going down really well over on Instagram. And then you've seen some of these weeklies if you've watched my videos. So I'm going to set up February with my splash page and my monthly. There'll be no Leo loves in this video because I'm going to put Leo loves in at the end of the month. So I found the centre point for my splash page and I've drawn a big love heart right in the centre, and then I'm going to outline that with another one because I want this heart to look like a little embroidered heart. I've drawn a diagonal line straight through that heart so that I can outline an arrow piercing that heart. I hear you, very romantic. For a February, what an original theme! I'm going to swirl some, what are we going to call these, ribbons? Some ribbons from top to bottom going through and down the heart. These are going to be my accent colour once I come to colour it all in. And on the opposite diagonal I'm going to draw some wings. I say draw, I'm going to attempt to draw some wings. I think looking back I'd have absolutely preferred if I'd have googled what wings look like, but at this point I am winging it. Boom boom! Oh, that's bad. Don't usually start with a specific idea of what I want to draw. I kind of just start and keep going until the point where I feel like I don't want to put any more in, or I feel like I've covered enough of the page. Once I've done that, I can go in with my Faber Castell Pitt artist pen and just outline everything. Once that's all finished, it's then time to move on. I'm going to put the word February at the bottom of the page. I've done my usual trick of splitting the page in half and then finding the middle point of the word February so that I can fit half in on one side, half on the other, and it should sit quite central. But it might be at this point, guys, that you realise that I forgot the second R out of February. I didn't know that yet. I find out right about here. This is the point that I realise I've missed it, so thankfully I managed to work that out before I ended up putting any ink on the page, so it gave me the chance to go back in and add in that second R before I then go in with another Faber Castell Pitt artist pen and do the outline of a properly spelt February. But that does remind me to thank all of you lovely people on my January plan with me. You will have noticed that I made a bit of a balls up, and I asked you guys if you'd done the same and to let me know in the comments of that previous video. You absolutely did, and it was lovely just to share the times that we don't get things right, and also all of the ways that you managed to fix it or come up with a quick fix. You guys are awesome, it was brilliant, and it was a lovely way of getting through January, so thank you. My colour scheme for February is going to be mostly pink, but then it's going to have three complementary colours, which are going to be the teal, blue and the yellow. There will be a little bit of purple in there just because I start off with the idea that I'll have one or two colours, and before I know it I've got lots more colours in there than I intended to. A lot of my colouring style involves putting in a layer of ink first and then going back over with a second layer of ink just to deepen up or darken up the edges. It's something that has worked in the Scribbles That Matter, and I think the Dingbats notebook that I'm using at the moment is also holding up quite well. Sometimes when you add two layers of the same colour it tends to eat up the page, but thankfully this isn't happening in this journal. And then to finish up I'm going to use a Tombow dual brush pen to put a top and a bottom header in. It then showed me there was far too much white space for my liking, so I've gone and added some more of the stars from the main doodle up at the top. And then my biggest trick, if you feel like there's still too much white space, just go and add a couple of dots and circles all over the page, colour them in, and it tends to distract from the white space that you've left behind. Moving on then to my February monthly, I have switched this up completely for me. This is the first time I've tried a different layout. My February header is going to be in a very bubble form, and I'm going to make the bottom of all of my little letters into an actual balloon so it looks like it's a big February banner. So February, so usually I have a big box layout and very little else. I've not had a gratitude log this year and I didn't keep one for the back end of last year if you've seen my flip through. So I'm going to add a grateful heart, a little gratitude space on the right hand side. I'm going to have, instead of boxes, I'm going to have a list format on the left hand side. I'm going to split that up into a couple of different sub categories. So there's going to be one for sort of family, things I want to do on Instagram, over here on YouTube. I'm going to have a little notes box as well. I've completely changed what I do with my monthly. So the February header, I said that I turned into little balloons. I've just made the font really bulbous, is that the word I want? I've bowed all of the lines on every single one of my letters. I've put a little triangle underneath and then 3 little sticky up lines so it looks like it's being a balloon that's been pinched. And when it comes to having a gratitude log in my monthly, I did this a couple of months back when I felt like I wasn't using my monthly as much as I should have. And by bringing a daily gratitude log into my monthly, it meant that I opened that page every day for the whole month. So it's a good way for me to attune myself and get back into the monthly, because I'm always going to open up my journal and one of the first things that I'm going to do is add in that box. And then for the last planning space, the first 2 columns that are smaller will be for the day of the week and the date of the month. The 3 boxes next to it will be for planning personally, Instagram and YouTube. And then that final one underneath the exclamation boxes, each dot space that's there is going to be labelled 1 to 5. So I'll be able to track my mood and my energy levels by ranking them out of 5. That little note space is because I find there's things that I want to do or I'm thinking about doing, but I don't have a date specifically that I want to do it. So there's a little note space there. And the idea is that gratitude log is going to make me open it and find a space to do it. And that's it for my February plan with me video, guys. So I've got my splash page and my monthly. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, then please do, as we upload videos on bullet journaling, stationery and all things doodling.